that all of you must understand. No job or no role is small enough. If you're doing an internship or if you're getting exposure at whatever level, it's really helpful.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today it is an honor and a pleasure for me to introduce you to all to this particular session, wherein we are going to know more about the importance of patience in business and management. My name is Harsh, and I'm going to moderate this session for all of you, wherein I'm going to introduce you all about event and perhaps the person who is going to interact and address all of us. First of all, I request you to kindly acknowledge and welcome the presence of our esteemed guest, Madam Tia Badri Mohan, who is here with us. I would like to request all those persons those who are watching this session on YouTube to kindly upload in the comment section and welcome the presence of our esteemed guest. Ma'am Tia Badri is Director Global Premium Freight Purchasing and Electrolux and responsible for sourcing, implementation and operational oversight of international expedited freight for Electrolux globally. Ma'am Tia has over 20 years of cross-industry experience, having worked with 3PL industry leaders before commencing her innings at Electrolux. And I believe her profile has so many things, so many glories, which I won't be able to explain in the next few minutes. But I'm pretty sure during this conversation, we are going to learn a lot from her. So moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen is patience, a virtue in business and management. My first question to you, it's a kind of request to you kindly explain our viewers how important is being patient in business and management.
Okay, so I understand that possibly a lot of the listeners or viewers or those who will watch this later would be students or young people like you. All those people, all I can say is that when we enter the corporate world, there is a lot of excitement and we want to make a lot of headway very quickly. And that is where, having been part of the system for very, very many years, in fact, more than 2 decades, I can say that there are no shortcuts to success. Patience is something that will come to you when you actually enter the workforce, when you enter the corporate sector, and you will realize that quick success is a very fickle teacher. So, if at first you don't get, quick wins or quick successes, just remember that just everybody goes through this. Patience is the key in terms of learning to take it step by step, learning the ropes, whichever function you are in. You could be in operations, you could be in finance, you could be in marketing. Absorb what is around you, learn and be the technocrat in whatever you are going to excel in, and then success will follow. So patience is a key in terms of the fact that we are all hungry for quick success. But all I can say is that you will need to learn the ropes bit by bit, and then the big successes will come.
All right, ma'am. I think you have very beautifully explained, and I think the viewers, those who are watching this session, of course, they are going to learn from it. Ma'am, my next question to you: what do you believe? Do you think patience could help you to develop your character?
Okay, probably when I was also finishing my MBA, when I was graduating in economics, I was extremely impatient. So I am speaking from experience because I was eager to get on my feet. I was eager to start, earning myself. I was eager to, win the Employee of the Month award. I was eager to do everything all together. And as one, I went like to my first job, which was from a campus interview, and then on to the next, successive terms that I did in different companies. What I realized was that once you enter a particular company, or once you enter a system, what you need to do is you need to patiently learn the ethics, the company way of functioning. You need to have patience to network. You need to have patience to deal with your subordinates and your superiors. Each of it in a different way will help you steer yourself to a better path. So the most important thing, of course, when you're in even a company, I mean, even when you're talking about your social circle, your friends, your family, is your ability to connect with other people. And when you actually step out and into a larger world, you have to have the patience to deal with different kind of people in different aspects of your work and your social life. So at the very first start, you have to understand that down the line, whatever you do in terms of moving forward, the one thing that will help you most is your connect with people. And whether you are it's rare, of course, for a youngster who's just starting out to be in a leadership role. But as you go into various stages of your work life and take on more leadership roles, you will realize that people who you worked with or people who you worked for, each of them form a really important part of what you do later. So patience in terms of understanding what are the good things that others get to the table in your workplace, patience in understanding the limitations of the others who could be surrounding you, and your ability to deal with those difference in people, and deal with the fact that you could be very different yourself. All of that helps you make a better network, and all of that helps you probably gain a lot more as part of the experience when you start your work. And what I would also say is that, and this is something really very important, that when you start off your work life or the adult life, you have to have the patience to be good with people. Most of the leaders we've seen, of course, there would always be exceptions, but all the people we typically admire, they've all underscored the importance of being good and patient with the people you work with. So the people you work with could be, like I said, your subordinates, it could be your superiors, it could be your peers. But that is the most important connect you have to make when you start your work life. And, like they say, be good to the people you find when you're on your way up, because it's the same people you're going to meet on your way down. So, patience that way, forming good relationships, being good with the people who work with you or for you, it helps a long way when you finally make the big treads into the world.
All right, ma'am. Again, it was a very insightful answer from your side. And I was listening to you very carefully. You mentioned one point that connect with people help you in your every stage of your life. And I think we all need to understand this. And that's what we are doing in this incubator. We are calling people from different industries, different domains, and talking with them on any current issue. Ma'am, my first question to you, next question to you is, what do you believe, what are the skills most important to each level of management, and why?
Okay, so I think when you're starting off, when you're just at the entry level, it's very important to be very good at what you do. I mean, that's the most simple way I can put it. You will always find people who are sometimes very good at showing. There's a lot of jazz and a lot of pizzazz to what they do, and they talk about themselves. And then there are those people who are the doers. You will always find in every organization there's a mix of people like that at the entry level. So I think that sooner or later, how well you do your job or how well you know what you're doing always takes you much further than just talking about how good you are, or talking about what you've achieved. So at the entry level, the most important thing for people who are starting off is focusing on the details, and again the patience that that we're talking about today, the context of taking out time to learn what you do, because that is a short way to get ahead. When you're in the middle level of management, that is the time when it's very important to show your people skills. because you're going to be managing teams and then you're also reporting to somebody higher up. So at that point, your success or how well you do depends on not only how well you know your job, but also your ability to get your teammates to perform, or the people who your subordinates to perform. So that I would say is the most important thing at middle level. And I think at the top levels, it's all about, you need to look beyond what the people are doing or the company is doing, and then it becomes a responsibility to society, to the environment. So at that stage, I think you're basically treating the company that you're part of as a living organism, and see how it is giving back to society. So whether you are in manufacturing, whether you're in services, you could be part of any company which is in a particular sector. But I think at the top level, it's about how well your company is doing in terms of, being sustainable, in terms of the CSR initiatives, and at the end of the day, how happy your employees are. So I think at every stage there is a different thing. Then it's not rocket science. It's not something that any of us can learn at business school. It's something that comes to us as and when you spend time, in a particular industry or a particular company. It comes naturally.
All right, ma'am. Again, I think it will be good for our viewers, and not only I think, but I do strongly believe that, ma'am. Again, as you know that majorly our audience are from the colleges, college students. So, ma'am, I have a question. I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? What are the qualities that every college student must learn in their college days to make themselves industry ready?
I think it's very important when you're in college to acknowledge the privilege, or acknowledge the good fortune, firstly, that you have to be able to be studying in such good institutes of repute. Once you acknowledge that, then all the night outs that you do trying to finish a project, or the presentations that you do, or the grades that you're running after, all that hard work will seem okay when you realize that it's preparing you for something great to follow. So once that acknowledgement is there, I think it's really important for children to young students to not only work on the knowledge base that we are getting in the classroom, but one thing that always helps you is good communication skills. So it's important to take those learning experiences, a graded assignment, do the best you can to get out there and present. Because ultimately, I think Indian students are really smart, and when you're going out there competing for the same set of opportunities, what sets apart one from the other is how well you showcase what you can do. So communication skills, really work on your communication skills, because I'm sure each of you out there is smart and hardworking and you're learning the best you can. But ultimately, when you're sitting in front of somebody who's going to hire you or who's going to promote you, how well you can communicate is a big differentiator.
Margaret, let me tell you that nowadays, if we talk about the best colleges in the country, we have the colleges working. There are different type of organizations which work like an separate. We can say that they're working in a same pattern and industry works as we have seen in the corporate world. So, ma'am, do you really think that the students, those who work under this organization, they get the experience which they get by working into this organization is really help them to in the industry after when they get a job?
Yes, absolutely. Well, number one, I think this is one reason why even for now higher studies, if you already have some experience, it helps. But even if you do internships, I think every exposure that you have to how corporates work, and trust me, this is something that all of you must understand. No job or no role is small enough. If you're doing an internship or if you're getting exposure at whatever level, it's really helpful, because even if you're not learning something which is core to your function, you're learning how to function in an ecosystem. And that always helps. So it doesn't matter if you've done 2 months in a company or 3 months in a company. when you're applying in future, it will always make a difference that you've had some exposure to a corporate setup. So I would always encourage students to go ahead and do those internships. If they are paid, very good. But even if they are unpaid internships, go for it, because it helps you in the long run, and it definitely makes a lot of difference when you're applying for future opportunities.
All right, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question actually. There's one very famous quote, the failure can be your stepping stone. But if we'll little change this quote, is we say that failure can be your stepping stone or your stumbling block. Ma'am, I want to know what do you think over it?
Well, I think I would go with the latter. I think that in today's day, we are all, for your generation, the parents want to do everything to be able to make sure their children succeed. But there's always a safety net. So I feel that it could be anybody, and not specifically to our country, but anywhere. You need to face some failures, you need to face some challenges, and you need to have the ability, even if you're a younger child or a teenager or someone in your 20s, to deal with those failures. And if there are people around you who are always trying to protect you from those failures, then it's a big disadvantage to you, because you need to face those challenges, you need to face those failures. And in those stepping stones, if you're losing your footing and you're falling, that's great, because you're preparing to be able to manage much bigger challenges later. So I genuinely feel that in case there's too much of a protective coat or cushion around you, in the longer run, it's not of benefit to you. So it's better for you if sooner that you get the ability to deal with challenges or deal with failures and pick yourself up and move on, better it is. So I would go with the latter, that it's better not for you not to have any of that extra cushion, and go ahead and forge your own way, learn from the mistakes, learn from failures, and then make a mark. I mean, success is always much sweeter and much more long lasting when you've seen a series of missteps or failures earlier. And people should not be around you trying to prevent you from facing those.
Indeed, ma'am. I think every time we challenge ourselves, we become more stronger. In same context,
Yes.
ma'am, I have a next question. Ma'am, what do you think? What are the common mistakes people do while setting business management goals?
Well, I think the most common mistake we do is that, we are preparing for the fact about where we want to be in 5 years, where we want to be in 10 years. In 5 years, I want to be this at this FMCG company. Like that. It's more important to set challenging goals for yourself, but don't get limited by what you want to do, because when you actually enter a company, or when you enter, and I do hope that when you're all preparing for your campus interviews and your dream jobs, I hope most of you get the dream jobs you want. But what you will learn is that when you enter a particular company, keep your mind open to be able to multiple things. So don't make fix about what you want to do or be in 5 or 10 years. Most importantly, because you are fortunate enough to be getting into work life at a point when there is so much dynamism, there's so many changes, there's so much technology, there are so many roles which are becoming obsolete, there are so many new opportunities which are coming up, that keep your mind open, identify the skills which you think make you really good, and then go and forge your path, and don't have fixed ideas about where you want to be in 5 or 10 years. There is opportunity for each of us, and like I said, be very mindful of your skill set, be mindful of unique, what's your competitive advantage, and I know for sure that most of you will succeed there. So that's the one thing I can say. Don't have fixed ideas about I want to be heading, I want to be country head of XYZ company in 10 years. No, there's so much out there. Make challenging goals for yourself, make challenging targets for yourself, but keep your mind open to so much opportunity which is out there once you get into the work life.
All right, ma'am. I think it's a kind of privilege that today we got a chance to hear all these things from you, and I must say that there is a lot to learn from you. But today I don't want to take you much time. So moving to my last question of this session. Actually, the question is, ma'am, what do you believe? I want to seek advices from you. What do you think? What are the things that students, those who are in their college days, they must keep in their minds?
Oh, please have fun. You must keep in mind that, when you're going to be, once you're on your feet and once you're earning and doing all of those things, there are going to be a lot of things which are going to take up your time. So enjoy your time while you're here. Enjoy the studies you're doing, because I think it's what we are learning by this stage is definitely it's going to help you later. But don't forget to have fun. And I would say that even later, once you get into the corporate world, it's not all about you're working 14 hours a day or something. If you manage to do, if you're good at what you're doing, and if you manage to find a role or a job or a career where you are maximizing your skill set and enjoying what you do, you will continue enjoying. But these carefree days that you're in college, you're with friends, even if you're doing lots of submissions and trying to get your grades up and a good CGPA, just enjoy every bit of it, because these days should be enjoyed, and they're not going to come back. There'll be good stuff ahead, but these days are the best, so make the most of it.
All right, ma'am. Again, it was really a very wonderful advice from your side, and I think it was a great discussion with you, or the topic, healthy discussion with you, or the topic.
Likewise, Harsh. I really enjoyed talking to you. So this is really nice.
For joining. We look forward to conduct more sessions with you in future. Thank you, ma'am, for joining.
Absolutely, and I wish you and all your peers all the best. I'm very enthused and excited about how much India has to offer in terms of the kind of youth we have. So good luck to you, and good luck to your friends, and all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. It really means a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, Harsh.
Bye, ma'am.
On the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone.